Good morning, everyone. Sanibona. How are you all this morning? That's good. Well, I'd like to welcome you all to the 17th annual book launch of the Dancing Pencils Development Project. And we are so pleased that you are here this morning. And it is so wonderful that Dancing Pencils has now partnered with the eThekwini municipality and with the libraries and heritage. We are so pleased and we think this is a wonderful move, and we are hoping that this partnership will last for a very long time. So would you like to give yourselves a good clap? Yes, just to say how happy we are to be here this morning and to know that all these lovely books that you have written are going to be launched. Now, to start our morning's program, I'm going to call on Mrs. Vina Gangaram to open our meeting with prayer. Thank you, Vina.
This morning, O Lord, we look up to you for your creation of books to open and broaden our minds. Strengthen us, O God, as we launch the books today. Allow us to feel the characters who live and breathe on these pages of the books. Give us the strength, Almighty God, not to let these books become wasted ammunition by lying idle on the shelves. Rather, keep them in circulation. Bless us to become possessed by books with mind and spirit, so that we become more enriched with knowledge. Allow us the wisdom to evaporate from the real world and travel on a journey of imagination. Shower your continued blessings, O Lord, on our authors of today. God bless. Amen.
Thank you, Vina, for that really lovely prayer. It was really beautiful. And now I'm going to ask all of us to stand as we sing the national anthem. So please stand. Thank you very much. You may all sit down now. Now, we're very privileged this morning to have as our main speaker Ms. Tubela Nkidi, and she is the manager of the eThekwini Libraries and Heritage. So I would like to call on her to come up now to address us all. Thank you. Ms. Tubela Ingidi. Please give her a good clap. Yes. Thank you much. You're going to stand here and you want to go on the stage. How are we going? Down to the stage. Right. Give her another clap.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, learners, beautiful faces. Oh, I like that. Okay, my name is Thobela Ngidi. I work for the eThekwini municipality in the libraries department. I'll just tell you briefly about my work, just so that perhaps I could kill many, many birds with one stone. You do know that saying, you kill two birds with one stone. So today I'm going to try and kill as many, many birds, but with one stone. I work as a manager in libraries and heritage services. That sounds very complicated. It doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, manager libraries and heritage services. But simply put, what do I do? My work involves buying of books for the libraries. It involves working with the authors, mainly the local authors. It involves, the support with regards to the technologies that you see in the library. Technologies basically means the PCs that are there. Every library has a PC, whether it's to help the public or whether it's for you to go and use in the form of internet access. When you see those gates that go beep, 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 beep at the library, when you walk out with the book that has not been officially given to you, that's part of my job. And then it also involves a whole lot of other things, one being a member of what we call the outreach in marketing. With all that being the case, like I said, I'm going to kill many birds with one stone. I studied as a librarian, basically. When people ask me, what do you do, or what am I? I'm a librarian. And I have two girls that are currently 14 and 11. But when they were growing up, they would know that I'm a librarian. But which library, mommy? And realistically, I don't work in any particular library. I work behind the scenes, which means in an office. It took them a very long time to understand I'm a librarian without a library. They didn't get a chance to come to my office quite a lot, even though opportunities would be there. And when they get to my office, they would still be baffled. Where is the library? Because at school there's a librarian in the library. But now with me, I'm a librarian without the library. And until now, they fail to understand, to kind of bring the two together, me being a librarian, but I don't work in any particular library. So why am I sharing this with you? One day, you will be forced or you will have to choose a career. And one of the careers that you may want to look at is being a librarian. That bird has been killed. Anyway, over and above that, now, the fact that one is a librarian, it is a job that is so large, because we don't just give books, but we also have to work with a whole lot of other people, other organizations. We work with the Department of Education, we work with the other literary organizations. That means the organizations that are working with people like you, boys and girls, people that are helping and working towards you to learn to read and write. So our job is not just starts and ends with the books. It's about the entire holistic education of the nation from the time you are this young to the time that you are, I'm not going to mention it, but I will anyway, you are as old as our dancing pencils lady. So at the end of the day, we try and cover everything. Why is that? It is important. Education is one of the things that once it has been imparted, once it has been given to you, once I give you something, a skill that is within you, no one can ever take it from you. I can give you money, but you can go and spend the money and then it's finished. You don't have it the following day. But if someone gives you a skill, something that you have learned and you have it, it's yours. No one can ever take it from you. So we try and work around all those aspects of trying to give you such opportunities. So it does give me a lot of a great pleasure to be seeing so many young faces, because it is at this point that we want to impart, we want to teach you, we want you to learn important skills that you may not see them as important right now, but there are a whole lot of other people that use the skill of writing in their lifetime going forward. There is a lot that comes with the writing. It's not just about writing books. You can be an editor, you can be a writer, you can be a blogger. There is quite a lot that comes with writing. So when your skill is developed at this young age, it sort of makes me feel very excited, because I see in the audience young faces who in the next 20 to 21, 25 years will be writers of all types. You will be writing for magazines. You will be writing scripts for TV. You do know that when someone is acting on TV, someone sat down and started writing that first before it was acted on TV. You'll be writing books. You'll be writing blogs. You know, there's a lot that comes with writing. And I'm really, really excited that we are planting the seeds in your minds, in your hearts for at this point in time. The municipality is about supporting the local authors, purely because we did receive well, we didn't just receive, we read in the papers about 2 years ago that grade 4 learners are unable to read. And the inability to read will not lead someone to writing. You cannot not be able to read and be able to write. So it came as something that did not sit very well with us, because we are in the industry of trying to get people to read. We have libraries that are full of books that we want to be read. But now if we have young people in our midst, in our society, that cannot read, how then are these libraries of ours going to be used? What do we expect? How do we expect our books that we keep in the libraries to be used? Basically, when you have a library full of books, you expect people to come in, do a whole lot of other things that happen in the library, but also take the books and read. So it took us to a point where we had to do a lot of soul searching and thinking hard around how are we going to address this aspect of our learners being identified as not being able to read. One of them is these partnerships that you see today, that which we said, okay, if you are saying that you are excited about literacy, you are excited about getting children to read, you are about that, we will work with you. We will support you. We will find ways to make it our mission to get our children to learn to read. It takes a community to raise a child. Most of the time, a child belongs to a parent, as we all know, but there is a whole lot of other factors around that make that child to be the adult that they are at a certain stage in life. So, what am I saying? Today we are launching these beautiful works of art. Writing is art, by the way. These beautiful works of art, I noticed some of them are written in isiZulu, which is one of the most and important aspects in writing. We are living at the times where we are not speaking our language, isiZulu. We are speaking English. And there are various reasons why we are encouraged to speak English. However, it is also important not to forget our mother tongue, isiZulu. So I really get excited when I see books that are written isiZulu. And I'm encouraging even those that have now started, because this is just the beginning, by the way. When you now have started writing, it sort of becomes something that you want to do and do and do again. I'm encouraging those that have also written in English to consider to also write in isiZulu. It is your language, it is your mother tongue. Unfortunately, some other countries have lost their language completely. It became extinct. And it is not acceptable for a language to go extinct while the people are still there, while the people are still alive. We are still there, sikhona singamaZulu, singasikhuluma isiZulu. But because, well, I will accept, English is kind of shorter. It shortens things up quite much, easier. But isiZulu is our mother tongue. So we took a decision that all books that are authored, that are, have been written by our local authors, will be in our libraries, all our libraries. We have 92 libraries, by the way, within the city. So what does that mean? It means that not necessarily you, boys and girls, anyone and everyone else who has a story to share. Everyone has a story to share. Everyone has a story to share, has a story to tell. It can be about anything, but everyone has an ability to write something. I know Felicity has got the right brain and the left brain and everything else. She can take it to that point, but everyone has something to write. Now, with that being the case, I don't see learners and I don't see teachers and parents. I see authors. I see a room full of people that can write books for our societies. Why is it important? Why is it necessary? Going back to the issue of our learners not reading, or our young kids not reading. Okay, let's be also honest. It's not just the kids that don't read. It's also us, parents, teachers, everyone. The reading, it comes last in our list of things to do. We are too busy. It's not something that we've fallen in love with, basically. But what if the books that we keep in the libraries are so foreign that even if you decide to take that one book, you read it, it doesn't resonate, it doesn't touch you, because it's got nothing to do with, it tells you about a story in England, America, Italy. That is good, there's nothing wrong with that. But what if we can get these stories from you, and then share our stories amongst ourselves? Wouldn't that be nice? I will make an example. A few years ago, SABC introduced channel 161, which is Africa Magic. A lot of people stopped watching Bold and Beautiful and started watching 161. As the time proceeded, the more and more other channels were coming through that are local content, things that happen on a day-to-day life, things that we can identify with. I'm talking about one of my latest. I'm not a TV watcher, but if I get to that one, which is Moja Love, I get stuck there, because it talks about the things that are happening on a day-to-day basis. And interestingly, most of the channels of the programs that are there, they are of local flavor, but they've been stolen from other countries. Making an example, if some people would know the Jerry Springer that used to be there, we do have our own versions of the South African type. And a lot of people are watching that. So we are also wanting to change the narrative not necessarily the narrative, but the content, that which we bring to our libraries. But how are we going to change that content if we do not have our own local authors? We need you to write those books in order to change the content in the libraries. If someone has written a book, well, I've seen quite a few or a lot of locally written books. They talk about things that we know, going to the mall, the spa, Gamalum, Espaza shop, things that we can identify with, things that would make you want to read. Wouldn't you want to read a book that is written by your auntie? Wouldn't you want to read a book that is written by a neighbor down the street? I mean, it's something that would interest you a whole lot more. So we are now changing the content in the libraries, but we need you to do that. We cannot do it on our own. As much as, yes, we are saying we've got the budget, we've got the libraries, but if the content is not coming from locally, we will not be able to fulfill the dream of trying to get our people to read the books. I will talk briefly about the programs that we have, which is one of my favorite, which is the One City, One Book. We have a program which is called One City. One City, One Book is basically a program that started about 6 years ago. We're trying to encourage people to read at least one book in 1 year in this one city. There's about 3.6 citizens within the city, both literate and illiterate. We would be taking a step towards a certain right direction if each and every one of us were to at least try and read that one book that the city has chosen or has selected. This one book, this has been selected, it has been selected over the years, in the last 6 years, per year. We started with The Long Walk to Freedom, which was Nelson Mandela's book. And we've been moving on to a whole lot of other books. I will mention just the last 2 books that we had that were being read by the city. One was The Pavement Bookworm. It was written by a gentleman from the South Coast. It was a very beautiful book, which helped us to sort of really bring people back in. It was about this guy, his own life. He grew up in Port Shepstone, and he, at some point, moved to Joburg. And while he was still in Port Shepstone, his mother received a gift of books or used books from her employer. And he subsequently fell in love with these books, and he was reading. And I think he also fell in love with the general aspect of reading. And with that being the case, at some point in his life, he moved to Johannesburg. And when he moved to Johannesburg, life was going well, and he still loved his books. He took his books with, and he went to Joburg. And he stayed there, and he started working, but unfortunately, he got stuck in drugs. Now, while he became a drug addict and lost everything, literally everything, meaning going to stay under the bridge, he still kept his books. And he read his books. And he actually made money from sharing reviews about his books. So this book was one of those that we worked so hard with as our one book for the city. And yes, we have made some great strides from the time we started, which was in 2013, around about One City, One Book. The last year's book was that of Rose Mutene, who grew up with a white family, having been not officially adopted, but at some point she realized that she's lost her identity. That was one of the books that was very, very useful for us to work with the city around the issues of identity, around the issues of adoption across interracial adoption. Is it good? Is it bad? So we kind of use the everyday issues to try and bring people to literacy. So the whole idea is when you hear the word library in the old days, the first thing that comes to your mind is someone wearing glasses like myself and going, shh. because it has to be quiet in the library. Libraries have evolved. Libraries have changed. It is a place of learning. It is a place of excitement. We actually like to refer to them as resource centers, because that's where it's a resource of a whole lot of other things other than the books. But we have not forgotten our very main and important role to get the city to read. So, with these very few words, I would like to say congratulations. I'm very, very proud of you, boys and girls. I'm really, really looking forward to having more of your books that you would have written after this one. You know, you were lucky that you got Felicity to be there for you, because for her, it's passion. It's something that comes from within. And people like those, we need them to be able to impart the skill, to impart the knowledge. You got the skill now. Make use of it. Make it something that you, even if at this point you have nothing, you have no laptop, you have no PC, write in your pen. I've seen authors that would say, I started writing 10 years, and he would actually bring the actual scripts that were handwritten and that which have culminated into a book. We work very hard with authors. If you've written a book, we support you in various ways. We buy your book, we launch your book, we try and make sure that your book is, we give you avenues and other areas where you can sell your book. We may not necessarily say we want to give you cash, but by purchasing your book, it sort of gives you something to make you want to write again. So I am encouraging everyone in this place today that please think about it. You have a story within you. And the stories that have been coming through from the local authors are those that I believe need to be shared. They need to be known. In the old days, we will remember, there used to be we were living in a whole lot less busy, rushed environment. So storytelling was there. That means at the time of our grandmothers telling those stories, they were teaching us. Values were being shared through those stories. In this day and age, there's no time to sit and tell a story as much as it is necessary and it should be done. But now you can sit down and tell that story in the form of a book, and it will last for a very long time in that way. And it will be shared across from everywhere within the city. So the ball is in your court. I am available. We will buy the books from all the people that are here. I can see over 100 books coming from everyone that is sitting here. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed to Bella Ngidi for that wonderful motivational talk. It warmed my heart to hear her say, write in your mother tongue. Because unless you write in your mother tongue, you are going to lose it. So thank you very much. Please give her another good clap to say thank you. Now, she said that she didn't work in a library. She works in an office. May I offer this? Tobela, you have 92 libraries that you're working for, plus all the school libraries. So that's more than 100. So please don't say you don't have a library when you have so many libraries. Thank you very much indeed. That was a wonderful talk and lots to think about. So thank you very much indeed. Now, some of you have come from a long way away. Drakensview. You've come from the Drakensberg. Ilembe. Well, next on our program, it says here, entertainment from Sogidi Primary School. So are you ready for your entertainment, Sogidi? Are you coming up to do the entertainment? Yes? Are they all here? Yes? Right, we're looking forward to hearing what you are going to say to us, or sing to us, or dance for us. We
need every right to play and before to say words. And life without water is like a fish out of the sea. See, caring for our water is part of caring for our environment. Oh, people of planet Earth, listen to the wake-up call. And make use of previously used water such as rainwater. In everybody, everywhere. Please save this scarce resource.
Thank you very much, Sugidi Primary School. I always refer to the school as the Sunshine School because of the beautiful yellow shirts that they wear. Unfortunately, today is cold, so they had their jerseys on, but I could see the yellow peeping out. And thank you for that message. It was short, but it was important about water. Now we come to Drakensview Primary School from Escort, all the way from Escort. And their book is going to be launched. It's called Drakies in Storyland and Other Stories. So please come up, please, Drakensview.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
As we're standing here, we're going to recite a poem about young authors.
My name is Akona Mazibogo and I'm from Drakensview Primary School.
And my name is Andiswa Matondo. I'm also from Drakensview Primary School. Young authors. Young authors do not plan. Young authors only write. Good stories, bad stories, but already written. Many, many ideas come and go. Come and go. Young authors. Young authors are young perfections. Young dreamers. Ideas buzzing in their minds. Waiting for the writer to respond. Topics all over the place. Seeking for peace. Looking for authors. So hey, listen. Take your time. And let us make this clear. Writing stories is fun.
Thank you.
A warm greetings to everyone who made it today. My name is Andiswa Matondo, who is in grade 7 at Drakensview Primary School. As I'm standing here today, I'm going to tell you a little about my story. The description of my story is as follows. Frisco's Marvellous Biscuits. There was once a shop that used to sell biscuits. These biscuits were very tasty and people seemed to enjoy it very much. It was in a quiet corner. The owner of the shop was Frisco, who was a very crazy, bubbly guy. One day, Frisco couldn't come to work. He was then forced to tell one of the staff members about his recipe, and Frisco's recipe was a secret. That person he told was Pilani, but Pilani was not trustworthy. And if you want to know what happened next, it's simple, just read my story. Thank you.
Lovely greetings to everyone. My name is Akona Mazibugo. I'm 12 years old and I'm from Drakensview Youth Primary School. Today I'm going to tell you about my autobiography. The description of my autobiography is, I'm better because of family. I'm a young girl who has many dreams and goals to achieve. I always do good sometimes, but I fail. Just because of family, I achieve. So, before I end my book review, I want to share something to you. Those who value money than family must know that they are not complete. So if you want to know about how my family takes care of me, just read my autobiography and you will know more about the value of family. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow friends. My name is Arya Bikraj, and I am a grade 7 learner in Drakensview Primary School. Today, I will tell you a little bit about my story, The Old Red Chair. My story is about an old red chair who belongs to a young girl named Jenny and her dog Max. Jenny loves reading, and so does this chair. You may find this funny, but this chair can talk. I will now read you a small piece from my book. Jenny's parents were renovating the house and replacing everything. When it came to the red chair, they saw how ugly and broken it looked. They were going to take all their old stuff to the junkyard tomorrow, including the red chair. Oh, that poor red chair! If you wish to know what happens to the red chair, I suggest you read my story in Jockeys in Storyland. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Babal Hadebi, and I'm going to read a short story, A Day at the Mall. Sipho was a 12-year-old boy. He loved to read and write stories. He enjoyed going to the library and looking at all the books. He lived in a small town and that doesn't have a mall. Sipho and his parents and younger brother, David, all went shopping to the mall. When they got to a parking lot, they were amazed to see such a huge mall. Sipho and David jumped out of the car and ran to meet an aunt that they saw at the mall. The first thing that Sipho wanted to see at the mall was the bookshop. His mom was standing and talking to his aunt. Sipho was becoming impatient. If you want to learn more about my book, read the Drunkies Storyland.
Good day to all. My name is Priscilla Chipeta, and today I will briefly tell you about my story. The title of my story is Penny the Pen. This story is about a pen named Penny, owned by Samantha. Penny was special to Samantha because she was given to Samantha by her grandmother before she died. Penny had a best friend named Perka. She was a penciler. One particular day, Penny was fed up with staying in a pencil case and being used non-stop. She wanted to explore the world and so decided to run away, and her best friend Perka followed her along, but was against her friend's idea. If you want to find out more about Penny and Perka's travels, please read my book in Drockies in Storyland. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Talut Madla and I'm in grade 7. I'm 13 years old. The three birds. Once upon a time, there was three birds. The three birds were lost and needed to find their way home to their captain. The captain sent them The captain sent them to give some important news to his grandmother, to his mother, who lived far away. These birds could talk and were the captain's messengers. The birds flew until it was almost dark. They unfortunately found his mother's house. They were tired and hungry. His mother invited them in and gave them food and water. They announced they are setting news to his mother. If you want to find out more about my book, please read the Dragons in the Land.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Posesu Kwabe. I am a learner in Jorkinsville Primary School. I am going to tell you a little bit about my story. The title of my story is Anything and Anyone Can Change. This story is about a little old blanket that lived on a sidewalk. It was old and dirty. People would walk past it, step on it, and kick it on purpose. All this blanket wanted was a new owner. Its life changed the day he met a girl named Tatiana. To find out more about what happened to the blanket, I suggest you read my story, Anything and Anyone Can Change, in the book Jockeys in Storyland. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all. I'm here today to give you a review of my book. It's titled The Eighth Man. There was a boy named Lauren. He played exceptionally well in rugby, but his father worked non-stop. He was always against the idea of playing rugby, but Lauren's coach once asked him to come for provincial trials. If you want to find out what happened to Lauren, I suggest you read the book Drockies in Storyland.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kanyezi Faranisi. I go to Jorkinsville Primary School and I am in grade 7. Today I will be telling you about my story titled The Forest Adventure. This story talks about 4 boys that go on a forest adventure. As they travel, they come across a garage and decide to go into the woods. I will read to you an extract from my story. As they were walking, they could hear noises behind them. They assumed it was a wild animal. They carried on walking and caught a small animal. They took it back to the campsite and dried it. As they were eating, they heard a sound again. Something was hiding behind a tree and watching them. It had yellow eyes and big teeth and brownish fur. This story basically talks about 4 boys that go on an adventure, but then in the woods, there's an animal that is stalking them. To find out what happens next, I suggest you read Jockeys in Storyland. Thank you for listening to us, and I hope that you enjoyed our small item. And we thank Umsinzi Press for publishing our book.
Thank you, jockeys, for that lovely presentation. Don't you think they read well? Yes, give them another clap. Well done. It was a beautiful presentation. Yeah, it was really nice. I enjoyed it so much. Inyonyani Primary School are up next with Have a Jewel in My Heart. Are they here? Are they ready? They're not here. Okay. So let's go on to the next one from Malabela High School, A Window of Opportunity. Would you like to come up, please, to do your presentation? Malabela High School. Some people are not able to make it. Right, so let's get on to the next item, which is Ingwavuma. The person I admire. Is Ingwavuma here? No? All right. What about the Ugu District isiZulu Stories, 2019, from Save the Children? Yes, they are here. Please come up and do your presentation. Save the Children, Ugu District isiZulu Stories of 2019. There.
Good day, colleagues. Good day, colleagues. How are we? We are good, thanks. My name is Ntokozo Ndlangisa. I'm from the organization Save the Children South Africa. Save the Children South Africa is a child rights-based organization which aims at actually protecting children. We advocate for children's rights and ensure that every child grows in a safe environment. So I'm Ntokozo Ndlangisa. I am under the Happy Living and Learning Project, which is in Ugu District in the South Coast. With me here, I have my stars. Can we have a round of applause? As Save the Children, we partnered with Kakama Primary School and we engaged our local artist Dancing Pencils in order to publish these anthologies of knowledge. All of the stories are authentic, and each of our children, there were 20 children in the process, but unfortunately, because of the distance, the weather, we just got a few to come. So today, I'd like them to read their stories individually and share their authentic stories with you. A round of applause again, please.
Good morning, my name is Amanda Kumete. Today I'm going to read you my story. Ukubaluleka komngane. Kwakukhona intombazane egama layo kunguNtokozo. uNtokozo wayeyintombazane ehlakaniphile, kodwa wayengayi esikoleni. Wayeyedwa kumama wakhe, wayengafundi ngenxa yesimo sakubo. Umama wakhe wayengasebenzi futhi babebuye bengadli. Kodwa uNtokozo wayefuna ukufunda. Phela wayenabangani ababefunda. Njalo naye wayefuna ukuba nempilo engcono. Kodwa ngenhlanhla umngani wakhe wayemsiza. Ngifuna ukuya esikoleni, khululeka mngani wami. Njalo umngani wakhe uma ebuya esikoleni wayemxoxela ukuthi babenzani esikoleni. Kodwa kwakukhona umngani wakhe uDumi. uDumi wayengumngani weqiniso. Wayenza konke okusemandleni akhe ukusiza umngani wakhe omkhulu uNtokozo. Njalo emduduza uNtokozo ethi akakhululeka konke kuzolunga. Njalo uDumi uma ebona ukuthi uNtokozo ufuna ukukhala, avele amtshele ngamalungelo akhe. Amtshele konke okuhle futhi yena uDumi wayemushiyela umphako. Wayencamela ukungadli kodwa aphe umngani wakhe uNtokozo. Futhi wayemtshela umama wakhe ukuthi ufuna inyama enkulu ngenxa yokuthi ufuna umngani wakhe athole ukudla. Naye wakubona ukubaluleka komngani wakhe ukuthi kunjani. Babebuye bahlale phansi bafundisane. Ngempela wajabula bona umngani weqiniso. Nomama wakhe wayebona ukuthi uDumi wayengumngani weqiniso. Ngelinye ulanga
Ngelinye ilanga uMiss wabuza ukuthi obani abanabangani abangafundi abahlwempu. Waphakamisa ngokushesha uDumi futhi ephakamisa ngokujabula. uDumi wagijima wayotshela umngani wakhe uNtokozo nomama wakhe. uDumi wabanikeza incwadi ukuba bayigcwalise. Bagcwalisa ngokukhulu ukushesha. Wagijima uDumi eya esikoleni efuna ukunikeza uthisha wakhe incwadi egcwaliswe umama kaNtokozo. uNtokozo wabe esekwazi ukuya esikoleni kwaba sekuphela kokuhlupheka.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about my story. Ingozi inyoka. Ubaba nomama babehlezi bejabulile bethamele isicaka. Hayi, mameshani, nansa inyoka ingena endlini. Wathi eqeda ukubabaza, wathi Baba, nansi inyoka ingena endlini. Ubaba wabe esethatha induku eyishaya ngayo inyoka kodwa yabaleka. Ngaphakathi endlini sabe sesifuna ngaphakathi endlini. Umama wathi inyoka ayibhekwa kodwa ubaba waqhubeka nokuyibheka ngoba yayisendlini. Kwathi ingahlangana naye inyoka yamshaya ubaba yase ibaleka. Umama wabe esemusa emtholampilo. Lapho kwaba buhlungu ngoba wayephatheke kambi. Kwathi ehlangana nodokotela wabe esesho inkinga kababa. Udokotela wathi uzoba ngcono ngoba yayingamushayanga kakhulu. Waqala ukuqaphela lapho ke ubaba ngoba kuthiwa inyoka ayibhekwa. Iyingozi esikhathini samanje. Babejabulile bonke abantu ekhaya ngokubuya kukababa. Lokhu kwakukhombisa umphakathi ukuthi inyoka ayibhekwa.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm telling you about my story. Mina nenja yami umbhali Nhlakanipho Ngongoma. Mina nenja yami engiyithanda kakhulu. Igama layo uSport. Inemibala emithathu. Yinhle kanti abantu bayayithanda inja yami. Njalo ngiyipha ukudla okumnandi kakhulu. Ithanda ukudla inyama ebovu. Iyathanda ukungilandela lapho ngiya khona. Ngihlale nayo inja yami. Inhle kakhulu uma ngiyibiza ngegama layo uSport wami omuhle. Ngiyayithanda inja yami kakhulu. Inja yami uSport ngihamba nayo ngiya eThekwini siyodlala ibhola lezinyawo sawina ibhande amahle amakhulu. Ngiyayithanda inja yami kakhulu futhi iyalalela kanti iyahlonipha kakhulu. Ngiyayithanda inja yami. Ngiyayihlonipha mina futhi nayo iyangihlonipha futhi iyangivikela lapho ngiya khona.
Mina nomngani nomama wami sahamba saya eThekwini. Ubaba wangithengela izingubo zami zokugqoka. Ugogo wayesemasimini elima. Sabuya eThekwini mina nomama. Ugogo esalima emasimini. Wajabula kakhulu ugogo ejabulela ukuthi sesibuyile eThekwini. Wafika ubaba mina nomngani wami sasithanda ukuya esikoleni kakhulu. Ekhaya siyadlala ibhola lezandla nengane yasekhaya. Mina nogogo sahamba saya emfuleni. Mina nesikole sami. Isikole sami ngiyasithanda kakhulu. Igama lesikole sami iKhakhama CP School. esikoleni sami ukufunda kuqala ebangeni lesi-R kugcine ebangeni lesikhombisa. Kusukela ebangeni lesi-R kuya ebangeni lesikhombisa. Kwelo kuqala uba ne-farewell uma usuzoqeda kwelesikhombisa usudlulela kwelinye ibanga kuba ne-graduation. Esikoleni sami kunothisha abayisithupha kukhona ogadayo uMam Gumet, uthisha wami uMam Thembu. Mina nomndeni wami sibaningi kakhulu. Mina nezingane zasesikoleni. Esikoleni izingane zesikole ziningi kakhulu. Mina nezindlu zasekhaya. Izindlu zasekhaya ziningi kakhulu. Mina nemoto yami yasekhaya. Lami ngayithengelwa umama. Mina nomngani wami, mina nama-aphula ami, mina nendlu namanzi.
Thank you very much. What we basically wanted to achieve in the project is that we encourage our local languages. This is why our book is in isiZulu. We also want our children to read and write, but with understanding. So starting with our local languages is the best possible way. We thank you very much.
Siyabonga, siyabonga. Save the children. Wonderful, you are keeping your language alive. And I had a peep in at one of those books, and I saw they're full of lovely illustrations which the children have done. This is also a new partnership with Save the Children, and so we hope it's going to last for many years to come. Now I believe we're going to have a tea break. Is that so, Ayanda? Yes. So we're going to break for tea, and we'll be back a little bit later. Thank you. Don't be performing at the back of the stage. To the stage where you need to go. Thank you very much. We're ready to start the second part of our program, and we're going to start it with, once again, the Sogidi children from Escourt, Ilembe district, and they are going to open our second part of our program with an item of entertainment.
6 and 7, we'll be right in seventh heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Oh, when it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, I'll be going strong, and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around.
I think you set all our feet tapping, and I'm sure the Elvis Presley fans enjoyed the first item. That was wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, and thank you to the choreographer. I think it was your teacher who came up. Well done to all of you. Give him another clap. Give him another clap. Well done. And now we come on to Dalibo Primary from Ilemba. Are they here to launch their book, A Girl's Journey into Africa? Are they here? No, don't seem to have made it today. Okay, so let's go on to the Ugunjini Writing Club. Are they here today? Yes, they are. Right, they'll be launching their book, Uku Baluleka Komdeni. And we're welcoming them up onto the stage now. Give them a good hand, please. They have come from a long way away.